And once one of those, so assuming DM Freaks do the combo correctly, which we know they are very capable of doing.
Yes.
You should eliminate either the Lucian or the Talia pretty effectively. Now, Rich is low, but is it diveable? Pioshik's so close to having his ult, it's not quite there.
Yeah, it really does want level 6, and then he can just come on over and press R, and then maybe Rich dies. Steel Baron with a Gleaming Quill before.
Yep.
That happened in pro play. That was a thing that existed. It's all right. There's the combo. Flash does come out, but it's not going to really do anything here, and that is a very dead Talia. First blood goes over to Pioshik. Man, the combo doing exactly what it says on the tin. DNF off to a great start as Sponge trying to taxi out with these grubs. Should be able to do so as life's coming over. Andal there as well. Teddy throws out the culling just to say no, 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 no. No aggression from you guys. And Pioshik will be able to secure the first grub. We'll see how many more of them he can get, but control of the topside wave is there for Teddy and Andal, so it should be that DRX can grab this.
Yeah, good setup though from Bulldog and Pioshik. First ult, first kill, you get the ultimate Hunter stack. And again, showing they know exactly how to pull off this combo. The fact that Yahoo flashes and still goes down just shows how limited counterplay you have.
It looks like not too much more going to occur, as another horn has been blown here as the equalizer goes down. Yahoo's just going to drive into this bottom lane and try and feel a little bit better about the state of the game by killing the Rumble. Almost dies himself, but will be successfully able to do that. No teleport available, will lose a plate here in mid lane. And now for DNF, but there's one little ward in the front door. And of course, the Rift Scuttler is going to be unclearable. Now it's going to be a bit of a team fight as the orb is over here. Teleport to come in as Berserker already takes a full culling to the face. Knockup comes on through there though from the depth charge, and down goes the Orianna. Equalizer comes in as well. They're walking down the red carpet, but I think this is just because they're famous as DRX are getting another knockup onto life. He's going to go down. It's a triple for Teddy, and that was a disaster for DNF.
DRX so decisive with starting the fight, able to catch on a Bulldog.
Oh my god, it's one entire item ahead.
Yeah, he is really dangerous.
Okay, well, they're not going to be fighting for this Herald. I just don't think that's going to happen. Sponge going to be able to poke Shelly in the eye. They will be able to lock this one down. Information is given over. That information, there's nothing that they can really do about it.
And we see DRX once again setting up really good control of vision in the area.
Well, here it is, combo one more time as there is the flash out from Yahoo. Does get the shield back though from his Seraphs that just transformed. Don't know whether it was in time though as the flash does go forward. Bulldog, remember, doesn't have his flash as prepared earlier. The culling comes in. Sponge going to be able to lock that one down. It's Pioshik doing some alcove gaming, and they do have an equalizer there. But Andal with a massive knock-up onto 3 people. It managed to curve. Hits a max-range hook at the same time. Sponge was alive for so long, but Berserker is as well. That's another kill coming on through here for Teddy as Rich does go down. Life and Berserker will be able to take control of this one though, and that is a much better fight for DNF.
Value in. Teddy comes in close, passes back up. Now another fight coming through.
Yep, and Pioshik managed to get on top of Teddy this time around. That is the priority target. He may go down for it though, as Yahoo getting some good volleys off. Andal will be taken out by the extendo beam of Berserker though, so a 2-for-1 trade feels real good. And DNF back on the horse.
Does mean they get control of the area though. They have to respond to the Rift Herald. Dragon's being started up. The Pioshik, and look at the timers on the Orianna and the Nocturnal.
Yeah.
2 seconds both of them.
Perfectly synced. They can now press that button again. Let's see when Pioshik decides to go in. There's the shockwave, connects onto one. Knockup is decent as well from the Wild Growth as the culling this time. He's going to cut through them. Teddy's at full health, but I don't know whether the fight has much left in it as the wall comes down. Andal in a little bit of an awkward position. Pioshik is kind of running for the hills. Yahoo just dies to basically the wolves. What was quite going on there? Life is also dead though, which is ironic and sad here for DNF.
And Berserker and Bulldog are, you know, Berserker's trying to push up here, but then Teddy threatens him later. Now, yeah, out of cancel dodge.
So they just decide that they want to take that, and that is because the Nocturne was dead alongside the Lulu. So they just walk over and take it. DNF, not really much of a way of doing anything, and Dudu didn't have equalizer or anything like that. To try and start a fight. Maybe they're going to start one right now as Dudu is just dead to start this one off. The Ram gets the double knock-up onto Life and Berserker. And there is the shockwave to connect onto 2. They're still going to go for it here as Sponge dives in. The polymorph is great though out of life, and that's going to be able to take him down. Yahoo, the only damage left alive, and DRX didn't quite need to do that, but neither did DNF, and they're the ones that are going to capitalize this time. Rich and Yahoo still trying to stand their ground here, and they're doing a great job. Throwing a bunch of rocks around, there's the wild growth to come on through. Another decent polymorph here, and Yahoo does go down. Rich, no more blue stuff left available, and so he is just going to back away. So they lose the Otacon, they lose the Dragon, but they take a turret and they win a fight.
Team fighting is so strong, this game feels like it could be anyone's.
Certainly good, and it's the Rise group, baby. That's, I mean, no game is ever decided. As a teleport in from Rich is weird, but it's not really going to result in anything. As now it's a face-off in the river. Yahoo just checking the angles. Dudu on a flank, looking pretty good. Does land the Harpoon here as Yahoo taking a fair bit of damage. And now the Ornhorn to come in. They do just split them apart. The wall does come down as Sponge gets in here. It is Soul that's on the line as the Shockwave is a drive-by. As Pyosik gets into that back line, it is going to be the Soul secured here by DRX. And the fight is entirely split. This is absolute insanity as Teddy goes into melee range with Dudu, and it kind of works out, I guess, but now he's by himself. On the other side of the fight, it is a catastrophe. And so someone gonna have to try and kill him. They need someone to walk up and actually fight Teddy, which is what they're struggling with right now as the polymorph is going to wear off. Teddy now just trying to take the fight to them, and Berserker will be able to do it here. They wait for the barrier, and down he goes. Cleanly played in the end there. Limped their way out, and were kind of fine. As here's the combo once again. Equalizer to start it off, but it's just an attempt at a guaranteed turret. Rich looking for a little bit of a turnaround play though, as Berserker will get knocked up. Sponge goes in, but immediately he has to run out. They get a decent shield. Pyosik in a bit of trouble, but Teddy has to back away immediately. And the redemption keeps DNF healthy, which is probably why there's such a large gold lead.
It's just so funny how Yahoo's just like walking up, like ult me, ult me, ult me.
Yeah,
He's like just hiding, like just refusing to show up.
Well, there's a like Hex Flash in, I think, as the Shockwave just going to be used onto Andil alone. The Equalizer goes down. That's going to be enough to take down the Nautilus, as now the paranoia sets in. Crescent Guard to come on through there, and there it is. Pyosik does decide to go forward, but there's no Shockwave, there's no combo. Very risky. Maybe they just hopefully, well, I mean, they're going to trade Elder for Baron is what DRX are opting into here, but they could just get Ace, and they're not going to make it to this Elder at all. And so Elder is going to get secured here by DNF. It's traded for the Baron.
Expecting to sell that pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Direction.
Oh, got a bit of a hook to connect onto Dudu. Sponge going to follow up there as well. He has an arm guard, but he elects not to use it because he knew he was dead. And Dudu just overstepping here, caught napping for DRX. Look at that, making use of them grubs here at 36 minutes.
Yeah, finally getting some value from them. Able to take the tower. That mid tower is pretty low as well. Could maybe look towards that. And getting some value. Closing that gold lead a little bit. And maybe this was the thought process. You know, if we trade those objectives, we extend the game and we just give more opportunities for DNF to potentially throw.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's a safe bet. You know, the longer the game goes, the more chances they are.
This time parking themselves towards the Elder. Vision does come through. There is a hook to connect. Oh my goodness, Dudu this time manages to go golden, but the knockups are going to come through from Rich. He's just standing his ground as Teddy, not even worried. He's flashing forward, and there's the depth charge. DNF falling apart at the seams as Berserker is flashing over, but this time Sponge does not care, and that GA is not going to be guarding anything. And just as the complete opposite of what we saw before, it is only Dudu left alive. It's a flash forward from Yahoo, says not even that will stay there. DRX, I think, just won the game.
And it just feels inevitable when it gets to those late game situations. DNF have their struggles, and DRX find the clutch window to close it out. It's a 5-0 in the late game team fight. They managed to get the picks, they managed to get the cleanup. Berserker on this Fed Zeri can't do anything, and it'll be a 1-0 lead for DRX in this series.
Teddy playing it really, really well towards the end there, but I have to say, Rich loves pressing his ulti button. He managed to find a bit of an angle that time around, was frontlining beautifully, and DRX just pushed forward for the win, but man, that was grueling. If you guys remember back to earlier in the year, very early in the year, Teddy had that absolutely extraordinary game on the Kai'Sa as well. This guy has been known to hard carry with this champion.
Right. Do you see
plate gank?
Yep. And try to look great at these.
Well, Rich is going to look for a little bit of a public execution angle, as Yehu does find a control ward. 2 of those plates do go down as Dudu and Sponge doing some battle here. That will be the smite utilized. So 3 grubs go over to DRX in exchange for these 2 plates that they picked up for mainly Berserker.
Sponge
now looking for a dragon.
Was waiting for smite cooldown there. Didn't want to flip it.
Yeah, it was pretty cute actually.
DNF will just take this dragon as well as those plates. So I think pretty positive trade for them overall. And we saw last game, giving over dragons caused some issues.
It did.
So early priority onto them. It's a good adaptation. Good to see. Do good damage to him with passive and everything.
See whether he can actually get there. Only at 1-4 now as Sponge will get pillared. Does have the Vault Breaker to get over it.
Oh, we have
put in the kennel just yet.
Dudu's walking over and Richard's resetting the TP, so...
Oh, Life does find the Magnustorm on to 3. The quickness comes down though and it's working very well. This Aurora damage is massive, but Pyoshik staying alive for so long. Finally he will go down. That's first blood, but it's answered with 2 immediately as the Kai'Sa is down. Public execution though for the re-engage as Yehu off to the side. Looks for another salvo as Berserker is just chasing after Sponge. Doesn't quite get the kill. As out goes Yehu, out goes Rich, and out goes DRX. But it's a 1-for-2 and DNF win the fight.
Bulldog didn't even end up ulting there, and they still managed to handily win that fight. DRX kind of gets slapped about due to such a huge presence in the fight. Yehu looking for what?
What? Death. Death. That's what it was.
Well, he found it.
Well, there's the Vault Breakers. Finally, that ultimate is going to be used, and the wall is going to block anyone from following up on to Bulldog. Did have to invest the flash and the wall.
Champion here gets that double slam, and look at this Scion, how big the health bar is. He's just charging around the fight, and no one can deal with him. And then here... Well, that's good.
Yeah, so that is something. Hey, it's a net positive trade. Is DNF going to look for their second Drake? This Ocean will go over to Pyoshik here, and not going to be too much of a response. Infernal Soul this game.
And look, this point of the game, 2 dragons to DNF, a gold lead in pocket. I think Berserkers and Locket are pretty similar yellow.
True.
Maybe Locket's a bit brighter, actually. It is sunlighty.
Yuntals and Infinity Edge is kind of... I guess Infinity Edge is a bit more golden rather than the yellow. You get a set bonus for using it.
Yeah.
It's like you're a support that built Infinity Edge, so the set bonus better be good.
Do they have that in
Oh, Bulldog taking a bit of damage here. As you can see, Andal and Sponge making their way over. Oh, Emperor's Divide comes in. There's a Killer Instinct. They do manage to take down the Azir, and they keep everyone alive? That is insanity.
Oh, the pillar.
How did no one die? Okay, so the pillar is going to deny Shelly. Shelly things into Trundle. It just feels bad.
So, I mean, for 1 kill, not huge reward, but because of the TP, the turret comes in. I think DRX pretty happy with how that one panned out. Able to punish the Azir.
Not bad
Finally
at
getting
all.
some value, getting something going through the dragon spawning in a minute. So,
ooh, another set item, by the way. Quick Blades and Unending Despair. Looking very similar. Don't know why you'd ever build those together either.
Yeah, maybe a little bit darker purple from the Quick Blades, I feel. Anyway, Atacant's been started, so...
Rich has also started a fight, as Life is taking a lot of damage. Doesn't want to ult just an Ambessa. Wants to keep his buttons available.
Don't need to do this. They're getting shredded. The resistances.
Well, Life's going to get tagged here by Teddy with that Void Seeker, and DRX can just wait. There's the Magnustorm. Doesn't exactly get a lot of joy as they're taking down Rich. That will occur as Teddy has to ult defensively. DRX, this is not quite working out. Still, they create some distance. The Otacon is going to go the way of DNF, and now they're looking to turn the fight. Yehu in trouble. In goes Sponge. Cease and desist is going to connect onto Pyoshik for some reason, and DNF will just obliterate DRX. That was a whole lot of what you don't want to be doing, DRX.
I was so nervous for them. I saw that going wrong in so many ways, but DNF holds strong. They managed to get the Otacon. They go 5-0.
Soul Point, Otacon, feats of strength, everything. They've also got 3 turrets on this map. Inner was taken on that top side as well while we were checking out the replay. This is all over but the crying.
Dare I say it.
Unlosable.
Even DNF couldn't throw from this position.
Oh, Oh, that is a pitching challenge if ever I've seen one. And let's see. I mean, it will be absolutely amazing if they do manage to throw this.
It would be impressive.
It would.
Hey, honestly, I'm wondering how you would actually achieve that. Zika was thinking of walking up mid and then thinks against it. I think a good call.
Not a bad choice. Sponge coming on over, collecting some vision control as Dudu is on a merry jaunt here in the river. Teddy does cut him down, but Berserker is going to be there. There's the supercharger forward. There's the charm actually connecting. They will be able to take down the Scion as the rest of DNF shows up. And Zombie Scion not going to be doing much of anything at all. So it's going to be Infernal Soul for free. Let's see whether it works out.
Guys, you're in a hit against a Sivir.
Yeah. With Infernal Soul. That has now completed. Teleport comes in. And now you got a Trundle running on up. That means that there's not going to be a smite here. And it is going to be secured by Sponge, who sacrifices his life for it. And the question of was it worth it is not even necessary, because the answer is just no.
Yeah. Yeah, not sure. I don't know. I think the play, perhaps a bit of a mistake. I think there was an opportunity for Andal to get some vision down towards Dragon. I think they could have taken a good fight there, but now they've given away Soul, and the Baron's irrelevant because DNF are just pushing into your base.
Yeah. Well, Yehu's going to be able to get a bit of damage here as he goes between worlds, but he wants out of this world, I think, Zishin. There's a deep TP! Okay. The ward goes down. DNF looking for the angle. Yehu going to start the fight maybe a little bit early into the backline. Goes Sponge. He manages to find Berserker, but he flashes out. The public execution is just public embarrassment for Rich, who dashes away and dies. And yes, they get the prize. But Yehu and Teddy are the only ones left alive, and DNF will continue pushing.
Guys, if you're going to go for the long flank, you have to wait for everyone to be in position. They went so early.
It was less of a Yehu and more of a yeehaw into that backline. It didn't quite work.
Like, Rich wasn't there in time to ult off the CC. Yehu ult. Okay, well,
I like the vibe. I like the idea. The plan was great.
I love the plan. The long flank, but it looked so cool in the setup, and then they just flubbed everything.
Abilities aren't exactly massive. Baron up in 1 minute to help alleviate that, but Dudu is just split pushing here in this mid lane. And DNF will be able to break this one open. Inhibitor already down on bottom side of the map. These super creeps are piling up on the bottom side. As we get the bit of a zoom out here, 40 seconds on the Elder. I mean, I don't know whether it's necessarily one team fight and you can win the game, but it might be like 3 team fights and you win the game. Still, this inhibitor turret going to go down, and DNF playing it by the book, rotating around, getting everything shoved in, making this base as susceptible as possible and making it so difficult for DRX to ever leave to life. And now they just dive on top of the Elder? All right, DRX, this is the insane plan that is going to get you back into this game, maybe. DNF with a great phalanx that has been put up, and they've got to teleport in from the Scion. Emperor's Divide only on to Handle, though, so that's not exactly the target. But still, they are butchering them. Look at the damage from Berserker. Every auto does about 1 billion as it's a triple kill immediately. That is going to be a free Elder, and guys, I mean, the minions were taking care of business the whole time. That is going to be game over here as DNF even out the series and get their first victory of this round robin, at least as far as games are concerned.
Unlosable!
And so Dudu wasn't able to collect that one. It is an eclectic draft here from DRX. And Sponge really taking a risk, I feel. Sponge will be able to start off this dragon. It looks like he will be able to secure it as well. I feel like whoever gets the first dragon just takes all of them.
That has been the theme.
That's what's happened so far.
Yeah.
And also whoever has the I don't know, tempo vibe of the game. Right now DRX well and truly with the tempo vibe. DNF had it the entire game last time. Yeah. No, I'll come up with it. Okay. This is like a first draft.
Yeah.
And there's no better time to go into the first draft.
No judgment, you know. I think I always appreciate someone who's willing to put their ideas out there.
Yeah, I'm also very willing to workshop it, you know, or just never say it again, if that's what we prefer.
One of the two.
Very happy to do both of those things.
It looks like Rich and Dudu are fully fighting, so they just don't care about the dragon.
one teleport available here for Rich, who can join if he would like to. But right now, Dudu is there, and also managed to catch him out pretty comfortably. Some O-bars being thrown in as the Tempered Fate goes entirely wide, and it's just the Dragon secured, given away here by DRX. They do supervise seasonal League of Legends, right, where you go back to certain patches. People will get very confused about what state Corki is in. All right, there is a little bit of a snare there onto Arndil, as Yahoo finding an angle. That Tempered Fate did absolutely nothing as Rich finds it into this backline, and now the resets are coming through. Arndil will go down, but there are the Heartbreakers, and it might just be Heartbreak here for DNF, as Rich, looking for it, does get the crash onto this Dudu, who is just not going to be able to survive this. Melee range with Teddy, but he just Arcane shifts on top of him, and Berserker just watches while his team falls apart.
Our first taste of action, and DRX clean up.
Oh, that's utilizing the tempo vibes to your advantage, right, Ox? I told you Chronicler because he's the one I normally terrorize, and I've been terrorizing you today.
Well, you did say DRX had the tempo vibes, and looks like that has come to fruition in this situation.
There it is.
I'm reluctant
Never
to
down
say.
the tempo vibes.
Never down the tempo vibes, yes. DRX, I just think it was very broken up miasma. You know, the thing that stops him from dashing.
You know what? I'll take your logic, and I'll bear it in mind while I ignore it.
Yeah. Well, Dragon going to be started up here. Maybe a chance for DNF to undo some of the damage done in that previous fight.
Yeah,
Dudu is on a flank angle.
He connects onto Berserker, as Dudu does look for an angle in, but the Rune Prison comes down. Bulldog still holding onto that ult as Arcane shift forward by Teddy. This guy is kind of crazy. Sponge slinking into the mist, looking for an opportunity. These rockets are starting to hurt. The misting shots are not, but it's going to be a 50-50. Whether DNF like it or not, as Yahoo and Dudu are just fighting. Pop Blossom is going to connect. They dive on top, and it is going to be the steal and the death of PureShick. Another reset to come on forward for DNF, and now looking scary. Yahoo moving on over. There's the knockback onto Bulldog, and into the thick of things is Sponge. They do manage to take him out in the end, but unfortunately, there is just not a lot of DNF left, and DRX continuing to roll over them.
They are making it work so well.
Ridiculous how powerful. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it again. But that was incredibly well played there by DRX. And Sponge, this guy's Viego, is making me believe that maybe this champion isn't quite as problematic. Onto this Dragon, will be able to get Soul Point for free.
Yeah.
The Otacon is going to continue to be the target here as Teddy getting poisoned. Yoshik. Shot Barrage going to come on through. Aimed at Bulldog there as Yoshik does find a target. The crash does come on through as Andal tries to get himself out, but he doesn't manage to. That's a great pickup here for DNF. And Yahoo will be able to get that soul, or soul point. But that should be Otacon going over to DNF, unless some heroics out of Rich, Teddy, and Sponge, who are up here. Okay, is the all-out actually going to come on through? It does, but it goes in a really weird direction there from Rich, who just gets himself out of there. Teleport back from Yahoo, does get his health bar back up as well. And look at this DNF, they're just not willing to fight for this. Look at their health bars, they're so low. And maybe it's just a leash. I'm not entirely sure. The teleport is now going to come in from Rich, finally, as the unending despair, I think, represents the feelings here of DNF as they lose Soul Point and they lose Otacon. And they're starting to lose hope in this game.
Couldn't get worse in that situation. Bulldog takes so much poke from Teddy, and then I even think Rich misplayed a little bit. I think he was trying to grab Bulldog and grabbed life instead.
Right. I thought he was trying to go through the wall, but then I think he decided instead he wanted to pull them back to his teammates or something.
Yeah, I think
107, like they have the same scoreline as well. It's actually kind of impressive. Not the same CS margin. There is an 80 CS difference there, and that's why Teddy has all of the money and able to do all of this damage. As okay, Cloud Soul up and available, 10 seconds time. DRX with full control of the area. PureShick taking some poke here as Teddy very comfortable here. And just no one able to threaten him. The Tempered Fate only lands onto Sponge. It's a decent attempt, but it doesn't do anything at all. Teddy rips through two. Dudu not going to be ending the world of DRX. In fact, it's his world that's going down. That's a flash in from Yahoo if ever I've seen one. He didn't really want to do it, but it looked great. And DRX will be able to take the soul and whatever the heck else they would like.
Yeah, I think Cloud Soul into Baron seems like the play. Looked like, you know, for first time in the game, they got some value of the bottle, but Sponge wasn't able to be...
PureShick's Impale was actually decent. But sometimes the Pop Blossom is just too good, and Teddy wasn't hit by the Tempered Fate, you know?
And the Horn game?
He did press R a lot. If it's based on R's pressed,
He was okay in the Horn game. Scion game, pretty good.
that was Dudu was playing Silent, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was actually. I got mixed up. In the, okay,
It was
in the Horn
much
game,
more
he was
of a
good.
rich-
In this game, he's been good.
Yeah, in this game he's been good.
He was in the Ambessa game. Yeah, he was okay in that one. Teddy was good in the Lucian
He did go
game.
for a very deep flank.
That was fun. Teddy was good in the Lucian game and this game. Kai'Sa game wasn't really on him. Sponge, the Xin Zhao, the Viego. The Viego's been good.
Viego has been good, and it's Viego.
Yeah.
Inhibitor turrets are going down, by the way, guys. Baron is being utilized here by DRX. They are walking fast.
I think it's. I don't think Andal's a bad shout, but I think it's. I think I'm leaning Teddy.
Yeah, I could see Teddy. I could definitely see Teddy. And then also we get the interview with Teddy as well, which would be great to have a chat to him. So for that reason, I think he's a good shout. However, DRX are going to do this full tutorial style, taking out all of these turrets. Inhibitor's still up here in the mid lane, actually, which is kind of crazy. As DRX somewhat split, doing a bit of a 1-2-2 with 2 being in the jungle, as Yehu's just going to, I think walking back into that makes a lot of sense. As now they pile in around him. He survives for a long time, but it is going to be Berserker taking down the Rise. Inhibitor to go down in the mid lane in response, but DRX, he likes the two
You saw that,
rods.
right? You saw that come up on the side.
Yeah, no, I think our observers got a little bit ahead of themselves, or our
Okay.
graphics team. They thought that it was going to be completed, and it was not.
That threw me. I guess
Okay, Yehu actually throwing out a weird Realm Warp, and it's not quite going to actually be taken, but still it works. As Pyoshi goes down, it's a double for Teddy. Could it be the Penta angle? We'll just see. There's the triple. It's not the Quadra, but we'll just have to take the triple kill for Teddy as they get the ace. DRX, a happy B to come up on top of the head of Rich, and they will be able to take down these Nexus turrets. The woes for DNF continue. Their chances for first in the group are dead, but DRX at least having a good day here.
I feel like that's the reason they don't go for the Rakan there. And I think T1, right, you throw the Cataclysm down onto the Sivir and you can just slam her into it. It also means you have a good, some tools in terms of disengaging.
Needles in. But as you can see, Ju just really wants to get this wave into an okay position. The exhaust goes down, and this is what I was saying. Ju, no ghost. Will need to flash. It was a decent flash direction, but he's still going to be in range of those scissors, and it's a solo kill for Doran.
Dodges from Kingen, because I thought he was certainly dead. And Faker and Ona say, you know what? We'll take a free kill.
Yeah, they're going to look for it as Gideon wants to come on over, but unfortunately the monkey is a little too late, so he will slink back into the jungle.
With the Hail of Blades, there's not that much DPS from Guma in these 2v2s, whereas you can just keep pumping damage.
Faker coming on over here as Gideon does smite, even though it's on 48 health. There's the exhaust down onto Calyx. Cyclone comes on through though as Doran. I know you're really strong, but you're not quite 1v3 strong just yet, as it's going to be another grub to be taken here. Nongshim will be able to lock that one down. Now Warrior Trickster and Spirit Rush going to be able to get these two over the wall, and instead it's actually Gideon having to flash. Warrior Trickster not quite up again, so we'll have to invest the Summoner spell, but still it's going to be 2 grubs out of the 3 over to Nongshim.
Definitely felt like a waiting for cooldown moment there from Gideon.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that checks out. Oh, Jiwoo is in a lot of trouble.
Okay, this is feeling less legendy as he does get a phenomenal spell shield. Just probably not going to be enough as the Ignite is ticking down. One last tick, not going to be enough. Honestly, if it is, that's kind of crazy because we needed a fair bit of hindsighting to come up with it as the justification for just not pressing a button in a split-second moment.
Yeah. Looked like Nongshim. Oh, nice.
Sometimes you cancel a back, and perhaps it's not a good move. Sneaky Monkey comes out of the brush, and they are all inside the circle. Gwen is not immune, and sometimes you just continue the channel, you know?
Yeah.
Greedy about one extra wave.
We've all done it before. And Faker going to apply some pressure here. Should be able to get this plate. And that's, oh, they actually might find him.
Yeah, Lehens is coming down here as Faker can just walk into the Realm Warp, but he was right on top of Lehens. Lehens finds the ulti there as well, buys time for Jiu to make his way back, and Faker ain't flashing out of that one because Lehens was already over the wall, and Jiu grabs himself his first kill of the game. That's Feats of Warfare over to Nongshim as well. As now Calyx with some Foxfire here, and man, Nongshim pulling the vibes back.
Yeah, oh, Doran looking for Jiu.
Oh, he cancelled it. As of course I think Doran probably would have been able to, and Jiu is well and truly dead yet again. Solo killing Jiu. That is Doran's job this game, and man, is he good at it.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Maybe if he'd gone...
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
As Owner taking a lot of damage here. Lehens trying to hold on, but Carrier just knocks Kingen up into the sky. Heroic Charge comes down, and Doran threads the needle as best he can. Was Kingen trying to get something off the back end, but he's not going to be able to do so. Now Lehens is in an awkward spot. Does get a max range dredge line. I don't know whether this will be getting him to safety, and it doesn't. In fact, so down goes the Nautilus as well. And T1, I mean, it was some steps forward there from Nongshim, but T1 just kind of did some big old leapfrogging and have found another advantage.
Yep.
Okay, Faker and Gideon fighting one another. Here's a Cyclone. As once more, Jiu going to be able to find a really nice spell shield. Faker having to get himself out of the way here. And the flash follow comes through from Gideon, who picks up a solo kill on the Rise, who is around the red buff. Owner takes a Rift Herald. We're doing things everywhere right now. There is just so much stuff happening. I don't know whether it's good stuff, but it's stuff, and things happening is fun.
He's one team.
Yes!
The other team makes a move in return, and, you know, definitely some question marks here.
Include Deaths versus Gwen. He's doing incredibly well.
Yeah, he is, you know.
Like, actually, he is doing incredibly well.
Oh.
Kingen having a little bit of a rough time here as the Equalizer will go down just to clear out the wave, but my goodness, that's what it feels like to be hit by the kitchen sink, ladies and gentlemen.
Pick the Dragon on the other side, though, but it's a good proactive play from T1. They will get a tower off the back of it as well, and I'm waiting for the moment where something else happens, because usually that's, we get the one play and then the other play on the other side, you know what I mean? The force T1 are going to start it. This is their new, not even a Baron. This
is how you do it. Well, Lehens is going to spot out what's going on here as Keeper's Verdict gets rid of the monkey, and now there is just nothing that Nongshim can really do. The Equalizer comes on through, that is going to be the smite. Locked down, beautifully done here by T1 as there is the knock up onto Doran. Flash out from Lehens, but the Needles are going to follow him. Now Calyx looking for his way forward. Does manage to get the charm onto Calyx here as the Realm Warp trying to get T1 out. Carrier dives forward, wants to just buy some space and he'll get it. Calyx though, throws out the charm, gets some flashes, but not too much more. Faker and Gumayusi having to use those summoners to get out, but
like a huge advantage.
That is only 4. That's just, it's not very, very good. As, all right, bit of a dive here on this top side of the map as Faker could be in trouble, and by could be, I mean definitely is. Calyx tanking up this turret for way too long though, and Faker will just get back to clearing out this wave. So never you mind, they just didn't have the damage, didn't hit enough buttons, and the blue guy is going to be able to walk away.
Yeah, he just picked up his Seraphs on his last back, so that extra shield came in really clutch there. Really big on the Rise as well, how much mana he has, so able to stave off that dive, and in return, T1 pick up that mid lane.
To be able to get over and at least
I think
test this.
Maybe their thought process was they all go bot, T1 get control of top side, and once they lose control of top, they're never getting it back.
Well, that is going to be the Cyclone connecting onto Carrier, but the anchor does not land. Second Cyclone is going to be enough to put down the Poppy. As now Calyx going forward will get knocked up by the Flag and Drag, but Gumayushi's in no man's land. He's just dead. And Nongshim getting 2 quick kills. Doran now dashing around here looking for Kingen. Kingen trying to keep him interested so that Jiu can come over and get even more. And now that the Baron has spawned and there are 2 dead on the side of T1, Nongshim are feeling like they have a chance to take it.
Yeah, there are some low health bars, so we'll see if T1 opt to contest this. This 5v3, looks like they're resetting the Gwen, so I think they might just go for a steal. It's risky, but Owner is alive.
Yep, Faker seeing what he can do here. Hook is going to connect there as they're looking to distract Owner. The Cataclysm comes on through. Down he goes. And that is going to mean the Baron goes over to Nongshim as well. And I thought giving up that Drake wasn't going to work, but with the pick, oh my God, was it beautiful here from Nongshim.
Yeah, we'll see who gets caught on the exit, though. Great charm will stop Faker, but I think Kingen might be...
Look at that pesky ward spotting him out as he's going to try and go for the empowered recall. as Doran will take a bit of damage, but in the meantime, it's just King and dead. So that is one Baron removed. Nautilus and then the weird stuff, you know, was kind of the story for this guy. So feeling very, very comfortable at this stage. Of course, missing the dredge line wasn't exactly part of that the whole praise situation, but he is still very, very happy. Yeah, zoning dredge.
Oh, Faker has Realm Warp. Should be able to get out.
Well, Lens knows exactly where he Realm Warps to by the looks of things, as he did manage to find it last time around, as now he's boosting on over. Does have the Cinders. Depth Charge going to be able to knock him up, and then he picks him up with the Anchor. Another Cyclone is going to deliver Faker another death here, as 0-3-0 is unfortunately going to be on that scorecard. So the opportunity is going to begin for Nongshim to work on this bottom side of the map. They've done their homework, and that's what we like to see. As Jiu is just being bait right now. As Calyx, he's going to take it. The Chains of Corruption come down. It's a very early Zhonya's as Faker does get hooked, but maybe it's an overextension this time for Lehans. Doran goes in. I don't know about that, as the Keeper's Verdict will knock the Monkey away. And down goes the Sivir. T1 find their prize. And down goes Nongshim. Gideon just had to watch from the sidelines as he had to vacate via a gigantic hammer. And that is 3,500 kills for Faker.
He finds it now, Realm Warping the minions. Looks like they're going to try for the end on the back of that fight. T1, give them an inch, and they'll take a mile. It's only Gideon up to see if he can try and defend 1v5.
Yep, Gumushi going to be tanking that turret, keeps these minions alive, and T1 continuing to push. I mean, it's a little bit dicey. Lehans is up in 2 seconds, but him and Lehans, I don't even know whether they're going to be able to stop this. First Nexus turret does go down. The second one is going to evaporate. There is so much damage. Gideon goes down. Lehans cannot stop it. And there goes the game in the blink of an eye. T1 just say, nah.
Yeah, so Nongshim end up with this composition. They have a ton of protection for the center. They're kind of banking on the fact that she'll become this long-range cannon who can just attack from such a distance.
It's okay. Kingen going to be running away from both. See, like we knew. This was just going to happen, right? Doran's going to flash in. There's a solo kill. Like, what did we tell you?
It was so obvious.
Time to Doran this game.
Yeah, to be fair.
And it was 2 in the last game.
Yeah, I just, you know.
Oh, Faker could be in a little bit of trouble here as Kingen looking to charge that ulti. Dissonance going to slow him down, though, as the shockwave comes in. Calyx might need to just, instead doesn't actually elect to use the ultimate, but Faker is now in trouble. The Colossal Smash comes down. Command Protect is going to be there, but another round of spells should be coming.
So it will just be a plate over to Calyx, but in the meantime, I feel like they've kind of given up complete control over this top side.
Well, Doran going in against Jiu and Lehans. Another public execution, another possibly dead Jiu here as he does get the Piercing Darkness, keeps himself alive. The Dawning Shadow as the last turret shot comes in, but there are even more bullets on this map, and the curtains have been called on Jiu's life once again. He almost got his revenge, but he just doesn't quite manage to nail it as Calyx not going to be dying just yet either, as Gideon coming on over, gets the flash on in. Heroic entrance, Faker going to get knocked up and probably taken down here as he has no flash and no chance to get out. Gideon will get his first here of the game.
Just for the cool noise.
Oh, 100%.
They're the ones who are like, oh, there's a pedal under the enemy tower. Well, I've got to take it before they get it.
Do you remember when Rengar had his Bone Tooth necklace?
Yeah.
That was my favorite stacking. As Calyx, this is his least favorite moment. Never mind! He's going to turn it around. The Dawning Shadow comes in. Carrier trying to keep Faker alive as the magical journey is unable to be taken by the Metal Ballerina, and Faker just goes down. That turn!
Considering Faker's dead, and I think Nongshim agree. Moving over now.
Yep. The Catfish does not approve, and there is the flash in from Gideon. Actually, no, it was just a dash in from Gideon. Vision. A lot of vision actually very accurately placed by both teams, meaning that it's a bit of information overload. There is the paranoia, though. And Jiu, this time going to be able to move over to his teammates. Devour comes through from Lehans this time, and that will keep him alive. The flash out as Gideon looks for that reset. There is the tongue lash, and down goes the Nocturne. Feats of Warfare alongside it. As, man, that Dustbringer coming out from Gideon was terrifying. Gumushi going to be able to break those chains, though. Many times. The level 11 is hit in unison here between our top laners as Gideon finds Carrier, but Owner is lying in wait. There is the combo as Lehans can just gobble up the Viego. Gumushi coming on over, Dawning Shadow comes in. The shield is there, and this Tahm Kench is so tanky. Down goes the Viego, though. Natam Kench is just on a silver platter, surrounded by T1 members. And that was not the fight Nongshim were looking for that time, as Kingin had teleported in, and now he is likely to just get sent home in a body bag. Not quite able to flash out of the way, but still having to use everything to just try and escape. And what happened?
I'm not really sure on the thought process of that play from Nongshim. There are so many things wrong with it.
They're getting the play out of the way instead of it being a game-losing one at the end.
Yeah, something like that. Down from Faker, but it just...
Maybe they thought that
weird.
Galio might sometimes be involved. As Kingin has found Owner, he goes all out actually, as Faker will turn up. Kingin will get shockwaved as well, as now he's just possibly in trouble. But he'll get healed up by the Piercing Darkness. Carrier comes over. There is the Tempered Fate, will connect onto Kingin as he eats a lot of the CC. Redemption going to be doing a fair bit of damage as well, as Owner is sped up by the Dissonance. Man, didn't know that was part of the combo, as they are going to be able to get the stun. There is the Public Execution as well, and it's Doran that uses that as a way to taxi over to Jiu, who will get shielded up. That is everything that Nongshim had just to keep 3 members alive. Curtain's getting cold here, as you can see Gumayusi fishing for it. Lahens will get stopped on the back. And you can see that Jiu is out of range, so no need to worry about that one. Calyx continuing to be in a different lane.
Oh, here's the test. Can he get down to the bot lane?
All right. Will the drift... Oh, that was cold.
Oh!
That was gorgeous.
There we go. Slick with it.
Yep. Can actually provide a magical journey for Faker as well, so that Faker can experience exactly what Carrier just did on that journey to the bottom lane. The police station paying bail money.
Yeah.
Without being able to actually do anything that they really needed to do, you know? As, all right, Paranoia has been popped here as it's another fight. Doran taking a little bit of damage. The Redemption down here for T1 just to try and keep them alive as Kingin is dead. But Nongshim, not quite...
He didn't need to do that.
He did not need to do that, but it was sometimes rush of blood to the head. I mean, I remember seeing a similar play to that relatively recently, but that's just a Doran Ambessa.
Yeah,
you got to take the good with the bad.
He was so out. He couldn't have been more out.
Yeah, it's gone down, so he's not able to kill it on this wave, but it's basically dead. And you've got Carrier lying in wait and moving over as well.
Been up for 30 whole seconds, and it's a little bit late for T1, I feel.
Yeah, let's chill. As Shockwave connects onto 2. Arakan down to 50%, teleport in here from Doran. The answering teleport is going to result as Calyx can make his way down. There's the Paranoia. Dawning Shadow doing decent damage, actually, as now the Galio comes in. It's a one-man taunt, but it's onto Gumayusi as they do manage to take the Arakan, and the magical journey brings them all out. Follow that! Do never follow that! Instead, it's a heroic play from Lahens that gets over the wall, and it is going to be Carrier that goes down. Abyssal dive here as Lahens. He's like, man, do I have to do everything myself? And the answer is absolutely. And another public execution there for Doran onto himself.
Well, they managed to get a couple of kills. I really thought Calyx had just gone to his death there, but...
You could sense the frustration. You're like, how dare you get away with this, T1? And so he clicks the button, and we all knew.
They're so low on HP. It feels so frustrating for them to... Oh, no.
Well, Lahens gets a little bit scared, looks to try and dive away. Heroic Entrance is going to be there this time, as, my God, he survives for so long. Owner is probably dead here, as he looks for a target to try and taxi his way out of the way of, and there is a flash over. Paranoia on top of the Cassante to try and get himself out, but that is not going to work. So Owner will get shut down. The gold still extremely even.
Well, they are going to look for Doran.
Okay. Well, they are probably just going to kill him as well, as he cannot publicly execute himself out of that one. And Gideon going to be able to lock down the kill. Doran really has had a little bit of a vacation moment towards the end of this particular game. That's going to even out the gold and also give Nongshim an avenue in to fight for this Drake.
It's a good pickup. He's down for 30 seconds. He should just be able to take it. T1 decide to let it go, you know. It's only second dragon for Nongshim. They don't have the top lane available. They won't opt to do anything more on the back of this.
Perplexing. I think just wasn't aware that there were so many members of Nongshim on this champion.
You will have to press Q a lot. Oh, Baker.
Baker is just going to get ulted on here as Gideon comes over, flashes out of the shockwave. There's the paranoia, and the stun comes in, but down goes Gideon, and Faker, he's just baited them all in. Let's see whether Gio can make this one happen, but he has to sidestep the Tempered Fate. Owner is still chasing. Faker is still alive. The Dawning Shadow's not enough as finally the Galio will be able to secure the kill, but Nongshim have well and truly overextended at this point in time. And how many times does Faker have to do this for people to learn that you should not try to chase this man?
They fell for it. They fell for the bait. They try and collapse on a Faker. They think they have the numbers advantage, but the backup comes in force. And one after another, they fall apart. T1 going to get the Baron. Oh, Calyx.
He just kind of walks at them. He's been doing this all game, and it's impressive, the bravery.
You know what? That's solidarity.
Yeah.
He'll die with his team.
He will. He did.
He did do that.
We've got T1 going down relatively low, but they will be able to secure this Baron. If Doran dies to it, that would be very funny.
That would be very funny.
But it doesn't actually happen.
But you know why?
Sad.
You know why he doesn't die to it?
Because only Krugs can kill Doran.
Exactly.
And this is slowly but surely falling to the wayside here for Nongshim, who, even in this game, there have been moments, right? It has felt, you know, like that rally, you know, the tennis, where the back and forths have been happening, but I feel like the ball is well and truly out of court at this stage for Nongshim. As T1 pushing down with Baron, they are very, very good at using this buff. It's their favorite thing, as we know. And Guma just a few bullets, the last one in the chamber here, as we can see, as he does cleanse. That is a cooldown that they do need to be wary of, but the curtains are going to get called here. And down goes this inhibitor turret. There's the shockwave combo. They find it. The bullet's going to ring true as well. Deadly flourish. My God, Gumi, do not give this man the Jhin or the Varus, and they did both in this series. As Kingan's going to go down, and once again, you might blink and miss it, as T1 will just close out this game number 2. And my goodness, what a week for this team, taking down Gen G, going from strength to strength here with a swift 2-0 over Nongshim, feeling like they're back here in round 3.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.